Well, if you've driven on a toll road in the new year, wait until you get a look at your statement. The rates have gone up. You may not have even noticed the change. According to TxDOT, it's just 1 or 2 cents in most cases. This increase is for the funding of construction, maintenance, and operations of the toll roads. TxDOT says this will allow other taxpayer funds to be used for non-toll transportation projects across the state. And starting tomorrow, Metro says the toll for the 5 carpool toll lanes it manages will go up at least $2 in an effort to improve traffic. The change affects solo drivers who choose to pay to avoid the congestion in the main lanes. So this got us wondering, should we be building more toll roads, or should we increase the state gas tax so we can build more roads for everyone? It's a long time debate, and we are weighing in on it this morning for you. Joining us live in the newsroom, our legal analyst Chris Tritico, news analyst Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst Jackie Bally. Good to see you guys.
Hey, good morning and welcome back. We're so glad to have you back.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, back from maternity leave. It was great, and I missed you guys.
We missed you too. We tried to call, but you were busy.
I was up during those overnight feedings, so I kept tabs on you guys. But you know what? It seems like no matter what, a road is never really paid for, right?
You know, let's go over the history of toll roads in Texas. Dallas, I think, made the very first toll road and built the first toll road in Texas that I recall. And at that time, when they passed the bond initiative to build that toll road, Dallas authorities said, when we pay for it, the tolls will go away. Well, when the road was paid for and it was time for the tolls to go away, they really liked that income. And so it never went away. I don't recall them ever saying that in Harris County. I looked at the Harris County Toll Road Authority webpage. Last year, fiscal year 2013, they made over $500 million off of tolls alone, the Harris County Toll Road Authority. This is a huge amount of income. But that money, if it's used properly, and I'm sure that it is used for infrastructure and building of new roads. And so as a tax, Mustafa, to me, that's probably the best use of a tax that we've seen.
Well, one thing that you always think about is, if you're going to build these toll roads, only a few people that can afford to use them, while it creates more traffic jam for the rest of us. And so I think the real discussion should be, should we have a small, 3 to 5 cent gas tax, so the 25 million of us that live in the state of Texas just pay a little bit, but it helps build an infrastructure and reduces traffic and improves the quality of life.
Gas tax is already 30, 40, 50 cents a gallon, Jackie Bally. I don't see the Republicans, except for that little tax they slipped in on mixed drinks, I don't see the Republicans agreeing for a tax, do you?
Well, not only that, we can't do it with tolls. The reason why we have these toll fees increases is because those dollars are used for the construction, the maintenance, and then whatever debt obligations we have left over. And then it goes back into the CIP for future toll road projects. But toll roads are not allowed to use certain sources such as gas taxes and other taxes when we're talking about building new toll roads, and that's why we have to do something like this. No one really likes it. No one wants to see an increase, but it's definitely better than the alternative. The question that Sally asked earlier, is it time for us to actually just start building new roads, or do we continue to use the toll road fees for the new toll roads? And I think it's going to be a combination of both, because our population is continuing to escalate.
And it has to be, I think, a mix. We'll come back to that, Mustafa. It has to be a mix, I think, because of shrinking dollars from the federal government. I don't think toll roads are here to stay. Let's go to Sally. She's monitoring the social media accounts.
Yeah, right now we asked this in real time, people who are watching us, what they're thinking. Brenda says, tired of the force feed to be able to use toll roads. Jason says, no more tolls. These have been paid for tenfold already. I think commuters really frustrated by this.
Well, and I think he's probably right. The toll roads that we have right now, especially the Hardy, has been paid for, and that money is now being used to build new roads, new toll roads. The question is that we're talking about is, how do you make it go away? If you're not getting the federal dollars that you used to get, Mustafa Tamiz, how do you build new roads, keep working on infrastructure projects if you're not bringing in income like from a toll road?
Well, let's look about the federal income. I mean, we passed a gas tax in the early 90s, about 18 cents, and since then it hasn't been increased at all over the several years, but the price of gas has actually doubled. There is, as a community, we have to come together and start understanding the basics, right? If you want infrastructure, if you want streets, roads, bridges, you want all these type of things, someone has to pay for it. And in the end, if all of us chipped in a little bit, it's much better off than if few people end up writing the bill, because if they write the bill like a toll authority and paying for the tolls, then only few people get to use it.
And $500 million a year is a lot of money.
I was going to say, we have to be realistic. If we're getting $500 million and it takes $1.7 billion for us to keep the infrastructure that we currently have, and we're going to need that for at least 7 years, there's no way that the $500 million, we're going to say, oh, that's okay, we're not going to use that anymore, especially when we're not getting funding from the federal level, especially when there's a deficit at the state level, and there's been limited amount of access to those state dollars for infrastructure.
Right, and it's a state has, the legislature has not funded infrastructure.
2014 is beginning the right way because Jackie and I agree.
And we're going to leave it right there. You know, and I got to tell you, last year when they raised I-10 was the first one to go up, and I was very offended because I use that every day. And I said right here on the air, I'm not going to use it anymore. I still use it.
Oh yeah, I know you do. I know you do, Chris. And you know, we'll talk about Obamacare later on, so that Mustafa and Jackie will make sure that they do not agree.
That's right.
Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.